Do-rag. Do-rag.
Why he keeps saying do-rag for?
Do-rag.
Oh, you saying you on that way. Get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch.
But they want none of this.
Get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch.
But they want none of this. They wanna know me.
Okay.
They wanna block me.
What?
They wanna stop me. But they can't copy.
Whoa.
I'm one of a kind. Plus I'm only 9.
Word.
They must be out of your mind.
For real.
So come and we will run.
Come on.
You're the boss, going to top. All around. In the door downtown. All around. Gonna do a knockout.
Yeah.
Always been having a frown. Now, a clown. Always down. Having a phone. This is my tone.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have nothing because you're poor. Gonna hit you with a cord.
With a cord.
Like you're acting sore.
Sore?
Attitude is my fuse.
Yeah.
You think I care, but really I do not share.
Come on.
You a baby, always acting shady.
Okay, get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch.
But they want none of this.
Get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch. Get him, little stitch.
But they want none of this.
Welcome. Nah, but seriously, you know, like how we were saying, like, it's crazy how people, and I'm not going to say just women or men, because, you know, we all say we appreciate honesty. At least I can respect for you to be honest. But the thing about that is like when you open up to somebody, when you talk to somebody, when you vent to somebody, it's like they always have something negative to say. The only thing I want to say about that is like, listen, if I really cared about other people's opinions, other people's critique, and other people's judgment because of what I said or didn't say, because of what I did or didn't do, then I'm going to keep it brutally honest with you guys. I would have been cut my tongue off. I don't know if you guys agree with me or disagree with that, but let's start the show. Welcome everyone to another great episode of Brutally Honest. I am your host, Stitches NBC, and this is season 4 premiere. Welcome. Today I'm actually joined with Nina Rock. What's good?
What up? It's your girl Nina Rock in the building. You already know who this is, right? If you don't, I'm going to let you know. I do a podcast called The Show Monday nights at 8 o'clock right on Facebook. Make sure you tune in Monday nights at 8 o'clock.
Who else we got? Who else we got over there, man? Who's peeping out there? I see somebody in the background.
Yo, what up? It is your boy Gabriel representing Finally TV. We in the building. You know you can catch me every Tuesday, YouTube and Facebook. Finally TV, the What We Talking About podcast, 7 p.m. every Tuesday. Check your boy out. Follow, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. But let's get it today. How y'all people feeling today?
Oh, I'm doing marvelous. Who else we got on the line? Who else we got there?
What's up, everybody? Hey, it's Phil, the podcast doctor. I'm the engineer for today, kind of running some things here. So you can find me at Radio Rejects Live every other Sunday at 2:30. We eat. That's what we do. That's all we do.
You looking real good over
Sounds
there,
good
Phil,
to
man.
me.
I
Eating?
appreciate that, man. Look at him looking fly with the fedora and all that. I'm glad you ain't leave me here by myself, man. I appreciate you, my G.
I didn't have a fedora. Sorry, my bad.
You should have told me. I got one in the back. Should I go get it?
Nah, you're good.
Now we
Where
good?
I'm going to put it on top of the headphones?
You could. I made it work. But honestly, like, listen, like, so you guys, if you guys don't follow me on my group, which is Brutally Honest Unfiltered, I post a lot of things there, you know? And one of the things that I've been getting, some of the feedback, and I really don't know how I should take it. I really feel like it's probably a projection from other people's insecurities. And not just insecurities, because let's not label everything like everything is an insecurity. It can also be a certain belief or moral that they stand by, which doesn't really align with your own, right? But it comes like, so I post a lot of things about relationships here and there, blah, blah, blah. Then, so, you know, some of the girls that I'm dating, they'll ask me, and then they'll ask me like about my ex, and they'll talk to me, and then they all say, oh, you're still in love with your ex. Oh, you still love your ex. And I'm like, I do get a little offended by that, but I don't even give no reaction. I just be asking like, but why do you say that? Oh, because of what you post and all this and all that. And I'm like, hey, listen, we've all gone through a heartbreak. Let's not act like we're not damaged. Honestly, you know, the reality is we're all on a different level. But it really comes to the question at mind, and I'm like, do they have a point? And this is something that I really wanted to discuss with you guys. Everybody that's actually tuning in live, watching, please comment. We will respond to all the comments as best to our abilities. But I really want to know, can you really, you know, like be over the person and still not be over the hurt that they caused? I need y'all to talk to me about that. Nina, how do you feel about that? I love Gabe's response in the background.
I know. I hear it.
He's like, I can picture him with the emoji, like the emoji face, like,
Nah.
No,
Well,
man.
first of all, that's a very good question. But I have a question before I get into that answer.
You have a question for
Yes,
a question.
yes,
Okay, you're
absolutely.
dismissed. Next, Gabe, you go. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Are you still in love with your ex?
Negative.
I just wanted to know.
Girl, if I told you what happened, you would be like, oh, I know you ain't.
I need to know, but I'm going to need like probably 3 more shots then if that's the case.
I got that too.
Okay, bet.
We
Bet,
prepared
bet.
here, girl.
That's what I'm
What's
talking
good,
about.
Maria? Que lo que? Appreciate you. Everybody that's tuning in, help us out with the comments and the sharing. We do appreciate that. So talk to me, Nina. Can you really be over the person and still not be over the hurt or pain that they caused?
That's a really serious and hard question to answer because, you know, it's one of those things where maybe yes and maybe no. You can't really say. I guess it would depend on how much hurt was done, how much damage was done.
In what scenario would you say no?
Well, let's see. Cheating, I mean,
Okay,
that's
when it
like
comes
a common thing, right?
Okay.
Not to say it's a common, it shouldn't be a common thing, but
it is.
It's a common thing of why people break up, right?
Yep.
Because people of infidelity, people cheat, right? So you can get over that person and say, screw you, you know what I'm saying? But you still have that little bit of pain, like, dang, I got cheated on again, if that's your pattern. You know what I'm saying?
So does that mean that you still have feelings for that person if you're not over that pain that they caused?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say that. You know, I mean, you're talking about 2 different things because you can have a lot of love for somebody. And I think that when you truly, truly love somebody, you're always going to have a little bit of love for them. You know what I'm saying?
So you mean like the difference is when you mean get over somebody, you mean like in love?
Yeah. Do you mean like you're over somebody once you're out of love with that person?
Because
Is that how
because Nina's right. She said that, you know, you can still have love for somebody and not be in love with them.
Correct.
Definitely. What you think about that, Gabe?
I agree with that sentiment. Generally speaking, I think that
As far as what sentiment exactly?
that the sentiment that you can, you know, be in love with somebody, fall out of love with them, but still got love for them. You know, like you don't wish them any bodily harm. You don't want anything to happen to them, but you really just don't want them in your life. Like that's a real thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know, and people watch from afar and they'll still pay attention to certain things and certain people and certain circles just to kind of check in and see what's going on. It's a certain type of love, but yeah, even if it's that, people being nosy, exactly. So, that's a tough one, man, because it's like, did it really affect you to the point where now you thinking about it every day, that you know it's affecting your everyday decisions and things like that? You know, it could go really deep. It could be so shallow and topical that, you know, it wouldn't affect you beyond a couple months or whatever, you know. But so that's a really tough question to ponder, because I think that's part of people's reason for going to therapy and stuff. No joke.
Yeah, but it's like when I came up with that topic and I presented it to a couple of the people that I speak to on a daily basis, their reaction was, "Oh, you've been through a heartbreak, huh?" And I'm like, yeah. The difference is I'm actually, able to allow myself to put myself in a state of vulnerability so that I can heal from it, and not just heal. Maybe I've already healed from it, but help other people deal with it as well, you know?
Sure.
And at the end of the day, that's the main reason for the show, which is Brutally Honest. We all speak about things behind closed doors when nobody's around, in private. We all talk to ourselves. I know you say you're crazy. Hey, we all have some type of level of insanity within us, but we all talk within ourselves. But it's very important to me, in my opinion, that we're able to express ourselves without that fear of being judged, without that fear of being critiqued. Like I said earlier, like if I really cared about being judged like that, I'd rather not even say anything. Is that even a life to live? You're not even living if you're living for other people's opinion. That's not your life anymore. That's their life. They determine how you carry yourself and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
They're painting your projection.
Definitely. What was good, Phil?
I said, what's that term that people say? You living rent free in their head, or they living rent free in your head?
Living rent free in your head. Yeah, this not even that, because that's more about like what we were saying before. Like if you hurt over something and they could care less, you feel like, and they moved on, and you keep thinking about it. That's where that term comes into play. But I think what he's talking about, it's a little different. It's something else, and I can't place my finger on it, but it's a little bit different than that term, because that term definitely 100% pertains to the situation where you're stuck on something, you're butthurt over it, and you can't get over it. You know what I mean? And they done moved on, but your everyday life is affected by it. Then they stay in rent free in your brain.
I mean, I think it's actually two different things, because you have the person and then you have the thing. You know what I'm saying? The thing that actually hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the person, but it was his actions or her actions. Let me put it that way. It was the person's actions that actually caused the hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's two different things, really, in reality.
They say that it takes you half of the time of the relationship to get over the person. So if you was with that person for 4 years, it's going to take you 2 years to get over that. And this is something that doesn't come from me. This is actually psychiatrists and therapists that actually say that. What do you guys feel about that? Have that heard about it before or what?
I've never heard that, but I think it actually depends on, like I said, on the act itself. Like, for example, you can have someone who played with your mental state, you know what I mean? Who broke up with you, let's say, moved on with someone else, but then constantly was just in your mind, physically in your mind, like calling you, texting you, and just, doing all these things to kind of like keep you there, so to speak, even though they're with somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Stitches, I don't want to interrupt, but we did. I was going to say, but she disappeared. Where'd she go?
She'll be back. She'll be back. How do you know you actually over the person? That's my question. How do you know you're over the person?
That's a good one.
When you talk about it, and you can talk about it like you just don't care, like it doesn't bring you any more tears to your eyes, if that's the state you were in. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? When you can talk about it freely and comfortably without it affecting you in any kind of way, you're just like, oh, well, yeah. So yeah, we broke up, and like, you know what I'm saying? That's when you know you're really, but when you come and like, oh, well, I can't stand him, and you still got a little something, you know what I mean? You still got something in you. Like, so what? Who cares?
I agree.
So what if he's with somebody else? So what if he bought a Benz and you're driving a Honda? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that person does is going to annoy you. It's because you still have some harboring feelings in the back of your mind somewhere.
The reality is nobody can make you angry. You chose anger as a response.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Ooh, preach. Say that again, man.
Say that again. Take notes, y'all. Take notes.
Nobody can make you angry. You chose anger as a response. And a lot of times that response is actually a defensive mechanism, something that we've all built, these masks that we have put on ourselves just for survival, just to coexist with everybody else. And if you keep on living your life like this, there's going to come a time in your life where you're going to be looking into the mirror and you're not going to even recognize your own reflection. You're not going to even know who you really are. You're like, wow, what happened to me? And, there's probably 7 steps of grief and getting over certain things, Obviously, the first one we all know, which is anger. The last one is actually acceptance. Once we stop blaming others for our unfortunate events, for our trials and tribulations, for our missteps. Once we stop blaming others, whether it was their fault or not,
correct.
At the end of the day, who cares whose fault it is?
The point is that it happened. That's it.
More importantly than that, Nina, is who's responsible. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It's who's responsible to fix it. And at the end of the day, if it's your life, then it's your life. And take ownership of it, because at the end of the day, it's only going to be you stuck in that coffin, 6 feet deep, stuck with all the what ifs. I should have in your coffin. Is that how you want to live? That to me is hell on earth.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But we do have somebody else on, I believe. And so, Deborah, I want you to talk to me as far as, can you be over somebody and still not be over the hurt that they caused? Let them know who you are and where they can catch you at first, too.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I am Queen Cole. I am the host of Like the Path podcast, and I'm just thankful to be here today. This is an awesome topic, and woo, everything y'all were saying, I agree with. And I have heard that about the psychiatrist, the
Mm.
psychology saying that it takes half the time to get over that person. Previously, I was married. I was married for 17 years, and so when I did the division,
Wow.
I was like, ooh. That's a long time for me
I
to,
still got some years
get
to go.
right. Like I'm like, oh, that's a long time. Like I'm ready. But then I went out with some friends, just hanging out, and a guy approached me, and I'm like, okay, I was feeling his vibe and all that. And then he said his name. His name was the same name as my ex-husband, but spelled
Oh
Run,
no.
girl,
differently.
run.
Oh no.
It's gotta happen that way.
That's
It's
right.
gotta.
Take the
It's
heels
not
off,
life
throw
if it
the
don't happen
sneakers
that
on,
way.
and start running.
So long story short,
That
Deborah,
part.
can you be over the person and still not be over the pain that they caused?
Yes. And I feel like I get over the person first. Like when I'm done with you,
Correct.
I'm done with you. But every now and then, just like when good things happen, we have a little flashback. You're like, oh, they did this. And sometimes that hurt comes back. So, yes, I think you definitely can be over that person, but you can't always be over the hurt. The hurt to me takes longer
Yes,
for you
absolutely.
to do because all the bad experiences, you like, you know what? They did this, they did this, they did this. So you can discard the person because you're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that no more. But that hurt can be haunting sometimes because those memories come back and you still feel the pain. So I
We
think you
actually
can
have
be
to
over
get to
them.
the level of frustration before we actually say, I don't want to deal with that anymore, because it's going to be hard for you to actually get over the hurt and even over the person if you still got that person popping around.
That's what I was saying before. If they're still there calling you, texting you, playing these mind games with you is going to be a lot harder. But I think also just to kind of piggyback on what Deborah said, women leave a relationship way before they actually leave the relationship.
I completely agree with that. All
Yeah,
relationships, if not most, are over way before the breakup.
absolutely.
Deborah,
Mhm.
how do you know you're over the person?
I like what she was saying earlier that you can see them and you don't care. I don't care if you pushing the bins. I don't care if you got this girl that got a BBL. I don't care. I'm working
Exactly.
out. I'm in the gym. So you're really focused on yourself. You're not checking that person's page to see if they okay or to see if they're going through something. So those things, you have to be able to be okay with yourself first. You have to worry about your own healing. And when you take responsibility for what you contributed to the relationship, then you can start healing, and then you won't be worried about what that person's doing.
Definitely. And at the end of the day, you
Yeah.
can't be out here lowering your standards and say, there are no more good men or more good women around when you lowered your standards and all you're dealing with is trash. When all you're dealing with people that don't even meet you at your level, you should be living your life where people has to rise up to the occasion and meet you at your frequency, not you lowering yourself to their type of energy or vibe like that. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I'm here. I'm here, right? You
Hmm.
better be here or above. Like I'm not I'm not coming
Right.
down. Sorry, I ain't doing it. Like I've been there. I'm here now. Like
I,
meet me or
I like what you guys are saying as far as your responses when it comes to how do you know you're actually over the person. And I would reword what you guys are saying when it comes to, and I would say when you're no longer attaching yourself to the emotions that it used to bring, when you're actually able to speak about it in a way that you could still have a smile on your face, a real smile, not the fake smile, not the mask that we all put on, not the tough guy or the tough woman persona that we love to perceive out there. No, when you can actually sit down on your bed, when you're laying down in bed to rest, and the person doesn't even cross your mind. And if it does, because we're supposed to have good memories, so we might see something, but we see it and we just brush it off. Another thing that I would add to what you guys are saying is when you no longer put fault or blame on yourself. When you're actually able or reach the point where you actually forgave yourself for allowing things to happen for so long. I feel like that's something like the therapy actually says, when you actually know when you're actually over that person. So yeah, let's keep the show rolling. We are about to start the second topic. Before we get that, let's take a quick minute intermission. I'm actually gonna tell you guys about an event that me and my son, Little Stitch, is actually gonna be doing this weekend. Phil, if you don't mind, run that up. We'll see you guys in about 60 seconds.
Hello again. I hope you guys are enjoying season 4 finale of Brutally Honest. During this quick intermission, I just wanted to let you guys know exactly what I have in store, which is something I'm going to be doing this Saturday. So my Cash App is Stitches NBC, and my son actually came up with this topic, which is, he says, if you got yourself in the situation, then you can get yourself out the situation. So I took that topic and I'm like, you know what we're gonna do? Let's give the homeless a piece of happiness. You know, a slice of happiness. Okay, enough with the riddles. I'm going to buy a bunch of Little Caesars pizza pies, and I'm going to go with my son, Little Stitch, and we are going to feed the homeless and also talk to them so I can, you know, let my son know exactly how hard it is for a lot of people that are unfortunate. So I'm asking you guys if you guys feel like donating, even just if it's $5 or $10 to my Cash App, which is Stitches NBC. It will be greatly appreciated. All donations, 100% of them will go towards food to feed the homeless. Come join me as we give them a slice of happiness.
You know, people be like, have you ever been in a situation when you're dating somebody and y'all just in the talking phase, right? And their insecurities just outshines who they really are. Like, they could be controlling, they can be possessive, they can be jealous. And you check this person on it and they be like, well, if I was your girl or if I was your man, things wouldn't be like that. Things would be smoother. So the question that I have at hand for you guys is, will things get better or worse once you guys make it official? Will things get better or worse once you are in a relationship?
Things should. Can I comment first here?
No, you can't.
Darn
Talk
it.
to me, Phil. Talk to
Darn
me.
it,
Of course you
darn
can.
Okay, so this should always be better. You should always be better in a relationship than you being by yourself. Because what's the point of being in a relationship if things are going to be worse? Like, I don't want to have a headache every single day just because I'm in a relationship just to say I have somebody.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So I would say things have to be better, and if things aren't better, I think you need to evaluate why you're actually in a relationship.
Amen to that. I concur.
Big
Nina,
facts.
talk to me. Will things
So-
get better or worse once you're in a relationship?
So I'm, you know, I have to always give you a scenario, right? So first of all, number one,
Of
it
course,
should
you're
be
a woman.
better. That's right, and a dang good one. Just saying.
Talk to me, man.
So he's 100% correct. It should be better. But here's what happens, okay? And I'm just going to take it from a female perspective. I'm not even going to
Beautiful.
say a man's perspective. And a lot of girls do this. I'm not this chick, but a lot of girls do this. They act like a girlfriend before they are actually a girlfriend.
What's so wrong about that?
What's wrong about that is that you have no control. You have no ties. You have no say in what that man does and doesn't do.
Well, if she
So-
don't do that, she ain't gonna be around.
What I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. You don't call me, don't call me. Don't get mad when I don't pick up the phone the next time then. You see what I'm saying? I don't got to tell you every second of my day because I'm not your girl. Until you, like I always say, single until otherwise notified. If you're not notifying me that you want me to be an official, girlfriend, then I don't need to tell you about 24/7 what my day is, what I'm doing. I don't have to call you. I don't have to text you.
So why do you have to do that once you become my girlfriend?
Yeah, I was gonna say that
That's
too.
what I
You
don't get.
shouldn't-
No, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying at that point, then you have a mutual respect for that person to, say, hey, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when you're not in it, you don't got to do anything.
No, I got you.
And at the same token, the
Listen.
man doesn't have to do it neither. But what happens is girls be like, oh, you didn't call me. And they're getting mad. What are you getting mad at? He's not your man.
I understand what
He
you're
is
saying.
not your man. You cannot get mad at
when
his
we was
actions.
when we was talking, we're just dating, and I used to call you at 6 p.m. You was always busy. But now that you're my girl, now you available. Deborah, talk to me. Talk to me, Deborah. Will things get better or worse once you're in a relationship?
Yeah, I have to agree with the panel. It has to get better. But I feel like when we're in that talking phase, we have to be able to gauge that. We have to also make sure
Correct.
that it's not our representatives during that talking phase. Like, yo, I snore. Like, let's be
man.
real about some things. You know what I mean? So,
I got earbuds too, but continue.
but I think we got to let that part down. We got to be authentic, our authentic selves. And then people are going to be able to say, you know what? Yeah, I want to take this a step further. But when we're giving the false person or our representatives, then we're not giving that person an opportunity to see how we really are. And then that's how people say, marriage is just a piece of paper, because I've seen people date all this time. And then when they get married, they break up because it's the representative that you're dating, that you want to be like this. I'm trying to show you how I can be. And then when you become married or you become in that relationship, then you start dropping it. So make sure that the person is consistent and that you're not getting their representative if you want it to be better in a relationship.
I like that. Shout out to Dash from Finally TV
Interesting.
in the
I think that
building.
you guys,
Selena, Margaret, was good, everybody.
yeah,
Thank y'all
man,
for tuning in. Thanks, Mom Margaret, for
my
sharing
partner
as
in crime.
well. Yeah, your partner in crime. So talk to me, Gabe. Gabe, you were saying, will things get better or worse once you're in a relationship? What's your feedback on that?
Just in response to what all you guys were saying, obviously you wanted to get better from that phase of talking and kind of, going out, chilling, doing your thing, Netflix and chilling and all that. The next phase, yeah, of course it's supposed to get better. I think that's a no-brainer. When I think about that question, though, I think about the other advancements in relationships that could happen.
Okay.
And I think that what came to mind when you said that is that you ever see people try to fix their relationship by taking it to like the next level?
Of course.
You know what
That's
I
why there's
mean?
so much
Like,
divorce rates high.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's kind of what Deborah was saying. It goes back to all that. It's like, if you're living with the person that's always on their A behavior, then you don't really know that person, right? There's no way you know somebody very well that when you see them, their hair is always brushed. They always got the nice clothes on. You never see them with anything wrong, right? So I just think that when I see that question, that's what dawns on me. And it's like, if I could give a piece of advice to the whole world, I would say things like, if y'all love each other and it's good, before you get married, you're going to take it to this next level, like religion willing, go live with each other for a year. And then you'll really find out if you want to be with this person any longer. Because I think if you live with somebody for a year, you learn some stuff that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. And you really understand if you could really stomach this individual for the rest of your life, or if you even want to.
Well,
you know what I'm
Why
saying?
do you leave your socks under the bed?
Simple stuff.
Stitches, we've talked about this before. I personally think a lot of people get married for all the wrong reasons, which is another reason why there is a high divorce rate. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, but like it comes with in my opinion, will things get better or worse? So this is what I have to say about that, guys. It's times 2, and in some cases it could be times 10, depending on what frequency we're talking on. So if we're talking on the negative aspect of things, when it comes to, okay, so he or she is jealous or controlling or possessive or whatever like that. A lot of people, and I'm glad you mentioned this, Gabe, that question actually ponders why people get into relationships for all the wrong reasons. One of those reasons, which is a wrong reason, is that because they feel or they think that things are actually going to get better once we make it official, and they are absolutely wrong.
That's the same thing with marriage.
99.9% of the time, I don't want to generalize it like it's black and white, but 99% of the time, it's a wrong decision to make. Because and now I'm speaking from a man, if I'm dating a shorty and she's jealous or she's always complaining why I don't text her right away or respond to her calls right away, I would be a fool to believe once I make her my girl, she's going to change. Once we make it official, she's not going to be like that because I'm hers now. And now it's official. And now she can claim me.
In that case, it's going to be worse.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I wanted to say out here, which is if it's a negative attribute, it's going to be 10 times worse than what it used to be. Why? Because now we're giving them the authority, the control, the power, or just a green light to be who they really want to be. Now, if I'm dating a shorty and she likes to cook for me, she likes to always be there for me, she's always consoling me, she's loving, she's caring, she looks out for my kids, am I wrong to believe that once I make her my girl, it's going to be 10 times better than it used to be?
Yeah,
That's a
you're wrong.
question.
It
Okay, cool.
It should be, but
It should be.
it should be.
I like Gay. Talk to me, Gay. Why am I wrong?
No, I'm just saying. I don't think that assumption would be a good one. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I don't. You know, I think sometimes, you know, we have this habit of ignoring the signals, right? And like people show you who they are all the time, and you'll
Exactly.
sit there and you'll like twist it different ways for it to mean something else, and it's not. It's what
Yeah.
it was when it was in front of your face. It's nothing different than
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I just think people get blinded by certain things. You know what I mean, in relationships, and those things that can be blinding, especially. Like I've been with the same woman, shout out Angie, for the last 22 years, married for 16. So like I'm really digging in my archives to like, you know, but like, you know, like in that beginning stage of talking and all that, that's that phase is so tender right there, and it's very emotional, even though you don't realize it. You may not be totally heart emotionally invested, but mentally you're very emotionally invested in that situation right there. You know what I mean? That's the checking the phone all the time. That's the, you know, you got to send the little smiley face with the kissy face, whatever the thing is, you know what I'm saying, that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you get blinded though. You might get blinded by the looks of that person. You might get blinded by the popularity of that person. You might get blinded by the money the person has, by the crib they got. You know, you might get blinded by the idea of everybody knowing that that's your significant, you know, person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you sit there and make excuses and stuff for stuff that you see that are blatant. Then you try to take it to that next level and it can fall apart. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not what you wanted it to be, but it never was.
I love that,
You know
man. I
what I
definitely
mean?
respect that perspective, man. Talk to me, Deborah.
Yeah, I wanted to address what you were saying. You were saying that you'll be with somebody and they're picking up your kids, they're doing these things. Will it get better? I think so, because then the availability is going to be more. It will be more broad. So
Is it though?
maybe every now and then I say, hey, you know, I got free time. I can go and pick up, you know, little Stitch. But then now that I'm your girl, I'm your wife, like we're sharing these responsibilities, and you know that you can depend on me, opposed to me saying, oh, I have to go to this or I have that. I mean, now we're working together to get towards something better. So I think that's why I'm saying it's going to get better, because now that person is really on your team. Like we're a solidified team. We're about to do this, and you can continue with the momentum from where you were. So maybe, you know, not just picking up the kids. Maybe I'm going to take your mom to the grocery store or something like that, where maybe a girlfriend doesn't do all those particular things.
Right. But, you know, Michael Jordan, the best ever in basketball to ever touch it, right? He was an MVP every year. You know what I mean? So like, it's hard to put your best foot forward and come out like that every time. And I just think that when you are in that phase of talking and all that, aren't you putting out your best representative right there? Aren't you making that sacrifice because you really like this one? So yeah, I'm gonna go hook you up and get your kid real quick. But then later, because you know me and we're in this together, you know I can't do that, Stitch. You know I got that whole thing. I can't put that off now. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You know, so like it goes both ways with that. You know what I mean? Some people, when they get comfortable with you, they take more advantage of, you know?
Yeah,
And I
and
like
that
that
is
we
true.
actually
And
having the discussion. And you were saying that?
yeah, I mean, I do agree with you with that. And that's the thing, we can't be complacent in a relationship. We got to make sure that we're continually evolving with each other. So the complacency is definitely a factor with
Right.
people that been together for a long time, and not, you know, being vocal about, hey, I feel like I'm being taken for granted on this. So yeah, that's definitely a great point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
I
get
love
it.
the fact that we're able to discuss this with open minds and that we all have
Yeah.
different perspectives when it comes to that. So I know at the beginning I said that if it's better, it's gonna be great. But let me play the devil's advocate. It doesn't always work that way. Ain't that right, Gabe? Mr. Finally TV. Like we've all heard, even right, Nina, Deb, Phil, we've all heard where we stop doing the things we used to do once we make it official. So where does that conversation fall in this conversation? Nina, talk to me.
Well, I mean, if you're being 100% yourself from the beginning, you should always be that all the way through. You know what I mean?
Big fact.
If you're being fake or, putting on a show, like Gabe said, so to speak, then your true colors are eventually going to come out, right?
It usually takes 90 days, but continue.
Right. Well, excuse me. But you know what I'm saying? So like if you're 100% honest and true to who you are from the beginning, then that should always be like that. There shouldn't be no surprises afterwards. It's just my opinion on that.
It takes 90 days to build a habit. It also takes 90 days for people to actually show their true colors. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, and I'm gonna put myself out there too. I used to go above and beyond for a certain girl and things like that. But once she became my girl, it's official, there was something within me, and this is like a decade ago. I felt like, she's mine now. I don't have to. We don't have to go out every weekend.
But you should still do those things to keep her. It's the same. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I definitely agree with that.
Because that's what you did to get her. Now you got to do the same to keep her.
I agree.
And do you want to do that? And I think well,
do you want to do that?
No, that's actually a real question right there. Do you want to do it? Is it within you? Do you still have the desires?
Right.
Do you still have
then
that
if
ambition
you don't
to keep
do
growing?
it, then you can't get mad if she's now, like acting different because you changed.
Why she gotta act different because of my actions? Why can't she still be the loving, caring girl she was?
Because you're not doing what you was doing before.
But
So you see what I'm saying?
He being a type of way, you could tell. He's trying to get you. He's trying to get you. Nah, man, because at the end of the day,
I'm not the one.
At the end of the day, you get what you put in. You get out what you put into this stuff.
Correct.
You really do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. So, if you are being genuine with yourself, then chances are you're going to be genuine with the people you deal with, especially the people that you might be interested and have a love interest in. You know what I mean? So it'll work out. But that's perfect world scenarios. You know what I mean? The fact is that there's people out here that just ain't wired right. And it's, that's just putting it nice. You know what I mean? It's just not right for certain people. You know what I mean? And it sucks for the people that are really genuinely looking for that companion and all that. And they get tossed around a little bit because they're a little over trusting, or now they might be going for ones or giving people a shot that we wouldn't have because, other things aren't working out. They're getting desperate now, that. But the fact is that people are just not honest nowadays. I mean, it's just facts. And that's why when you find people that are honest, you kind of gravitate toward them. Even if you're not attracted to them, in any type of way other than just being friends, you kind of, at least me, when I meet people now and I feel that genuineness, that realness to them, I stay around those people now. And like, I get rid of everything else that don't feel like that. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing like that, but it's so rare now. And to that point, I don't say the phrase common sense anymore. I say the phrase basic sense, and not a lot of people have it. You know what I mean? Because it's not common sense used to mean having basic sense. You know what I mean? And everybody had like basic sense. But tell me I'm wrong.
Nowadays, everybody's woke,
it's basic sense, and not a lot of people have it.
Yeah. I love that, man. And I actually love this episode too. We spoke a lot about heartbreaks. We spoke about, will things get better or worse once you're in a relationship. We also spoke about, can you be over the person and still not be over the hurt that they caused? I loved everybody's feedback, all the guests here. A quick outro. Would you guys like to dismiss yourselves before we end the show? I'm actually going to end it with one of my poetry, which is actually called Heartbreak. But before that, you guys can finish it off.
All right. You already know who this is. It's your girl, Nina Rock. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.
Love it. Gabe, talk to them, man. Let them know.
It's your boy Gabriel at Finally TV everywhere. Finally TV, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I want to thank y'all for having me. Anytime, just let me know. We'll do it again. Shout out to Brutally Honest. I love being here. Peace to the ladies. It was nice meeting y'all. I'm out.
Got it. Deb, talk to me, mommy.
All right, it's Queen Cole here, Like the Path Podcast. Follow me on all social media platforms, and thank you so much for having me on the show. I enjoyed it. Of
course. We'll definitely do this again. Want to create a quick shout out, Phil?
Hey, I am the podcast doctor. So if you do want to start a podcast, or if you already have a podcast and you see what we do here, this looks pretty cool, just hit me up at It's the Podcast Doctor.
He definitely knows what he's doing. Definitely check him out. Follow him on IG. Definitely, he has a lot of packages that are efficient, convenient, and everything is gonna be professional with the content and quality you guys need. You know, they say that money is the root of all evil, but that's actually wrong. The love of money is actually the root of all evil. The only thing money can actually do is actually just give you the power to be who you really want to be. So if you was heartless, money is only going to give you the power to be more of a jerk. If you was already a good-hearted person, money is only going to give you the power to give more and give more of yourself. So we have this misconception as far as money, when money is just monetary. Money is just the fuel. At the end of the day, it doesn't change the driver. The driver is you. I definitely would like to thank you all guys all for joining in. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Gabriel. I definitely do appreciate that. So heartbreak goes something like this. I would call and you console late. Maybe that's the reason why I felt like we were soulmates. But if my heart was on trial, that'd be a cold case. I don't know if I should continue saying that poetry. I definitely like everybody tuning in. I will see you guys next week. Cash App Stitches NBC. We'll be donating and feeding the homeless with a slice of happiness. Thank y'all all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.